awesome human being.
Absolutely.
Meek, mild, like everybody will respect him day one. Virginia's not an easy job. There's nobody that's been there consistently and won. You think about, you can go back a ways since that's happened. So he's going to have his hands full, but he better be able to develop, like you said, that talent and get talent to come to UVA, which is not easy.
That's the breaking news today. So for more on this, guys, let's go back to our friend Chris Lowe, who has been following this story. Chris, how did this come about?
Well, Tony Elliott's been very patient. He had chances last year to go somewhere. Tennessee was interested, Auburn, South Carolina. He sort of waited for the kind of opportunity he felt like he would fit. And listen, nobody communicates and relates to players better than Tony Elliott. He learned that under Dabo Swinney, that culture there at Clemson. This was an opportunity that came up, as well as Duke. Duke was another opportunity that he had this year, but Virginia's the one that he ultimately settles on.
Good stuff, Chris Lowe. We appreciate you being on this story all day long. All right, obviously, Clemson going through a little bit of a transition as they lose their defensive quarter, Brett Venables, and now Tony Elliott.
And AD. There's a lot going on there.
He's losing a lot.
Let's get back to the Chip Kelly conversation, because that is one that's still out there and could be a potential. Maybe there'll be some news on that as the day goes on. What do you think of a potential reunion, David, with Chip Kelly and Oregon?
I think the sequel's not usually better than the original. We've seen that, but I'll say this about it: obviously the facilities are stupid.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal, he hasn't coached at an elite level, but he's recruited at an elite level. So the talent's there, and Oregon's been a good program over the last 12 years. The best program in the Pac-12 over the last 12 years, and Chip Kelly had a lot to do with it. So when Chip went to UCLA, I didn't think it would work great. But he can still coach football, so I wonder about how much is he in and how much does he want to go recruit and stuff like that. But I think obviously Chip knows what to do with talent, and he'll have talent.
And like you said, Mario did a really good job of recruiting talent, so the cupboard is stocked. So he's going to be okay from that standpoint. It just surprises me that an AD or a president will allow a head coach to go to a different school that's in conference. Like that kind of bothers me a little bit. It really surprises me. But outside of that, I think it'll be a pretty good fit. The pieces are there. He's obviously beloved in Eugene, Oregon. They're going to welcome him with open arms. It's just another one of those. It's a matter of when, not if, because I believe it's going to happen.
Okay, so she told us about the January 15th. After January 15th, the buyout goes away, right? It goes away to nothing. Yeah. So wait till January 15th. Like, why are we complicating this? Like, this ain't hard. It's $9 million buyout.
Yeah.
Or wait till January 15th, or wait a month.
Hey,
I'm not great at numbers, Des, but one of those are not like the other.
These agents, man, they be pulling the flim-flam on these guys, and they be like, he's not going to be available. You better get him now. Next thing you know, they overpay. We've seen that time and time again.
Chip Kelly ain't going nowhere.
Chip Kelly, wildly successful at Oregon, 46-7 in his 4 years, led them to 3 Pac-12 titles. So certainly there's a lot of history there. All right, let's get to some other news around college football, and there is some regarding that ACC championship game from last week. Remember the fake slide that Kenny Pickett used to score a touchdown?
Yep.
Yeah.
First, let's go to Notre Dame, guys, because
still
these
ACC,
two players, ACC, well, sort of, kind of, right?
Yeah, every sport except football.
They've decided that they're not going to play in the Fiesta Bowl. Williams is the number 4 ranked running back on Mel Kiper's big board, and Hamilton is the number 4 overall prospect. Now we'll talk about Kenny Pickett, because this was fascinating, guys. There was talk immediately of them having to outlaw these slides because they, kind of mess up the defense.
Yeah,
defense
mess
is like,
them up a little bit.
I'm not gonna pursue. It's done. The play is over. So now they have officially said that they should interpret a fake slide as a player surrendering himself. That will end the play. And they worked fast on that one, didn't they? My goodness.
They had to.
All right, guys, time to strike a pose. The Heisman Trophy will be awarded tomorrow. Find out why we shouldn't automatically engrave Bryce Young's name on that trophy.
Okay.
And it is Army-Navy weekend. And the uniforms are always one of the highlights. Let's take a look at Navy's. The new Fly Navy uniforms will highlight the Super Hornet, which represents the Navy's fleet of strike fighter aircrafts. Known as the Rhino, the Super Hornet is also flown by the Blue Angels. So much more to come here on College Football Live. Stick around.
College Football Live is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings and in part by Allstate. Save money like a champion. with Allstate.
Welcome to Allstate, where our new lower auto rates make everyone feel like an MVP. Now get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
My daughter has type 2 diabetes, and lately I've seen this change in her.
Once-weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C. It lowers blood sugar from the first dose, and you could lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
America! After the past year-ish, everyone deserves something new. So, AT&T is giving everyone our best deals on every iPhone, including the iPhone 13 Pro with its amazing camera, like everyone that worked from home or welcomed a new family member.
They were all out of dogs.
Our deals are for everyone.
It's not complicated. AT&T is giving new and existing customers our best deals on every iPhone, including up to $1,000 off the epic iPhone 13 Pro.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. A hot, buttery treasure loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon. And to top it off right now, they're just $1. $1. Now there's no reason to go somewhere else. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Coach Belichick said, we're thinking of trading for Randy. What do you think? What do I think? Absolutely. I'm going to give you everything I got. We somehow got everyone on the same team at the same time. We made football look so easy. It was probably the best team in NFL history.
3 games away from immortality, 1 loss away from infamy.
We're going to someone's funeral. It's going to be theirs, or it's going to be ours.
And the New York Giants will be Super Bowl champions.
We lost the Super Bowl.
What do you think?
I think you're going to talk to American Financing.
Peyton Manning?
You're going to save $1,000 a month.
It's enough to send 4 kids to college.
We're having 4 kids?
Oh yeah, all at the same time.
Start planning for your future today with American Financing.
The future of health is not a thing that tracks your heart rate night and day, that gives you the most accurate sleep data, that tracks your heart rate during your workout, that predicts your period a month early and alerts you a week before it starts, that senses your blood oxygen levels, that knows when you might be feeling unwell, even before you do, that's water resistant up to 330 feet. The future of health is you.
Show the world what it means to be a fan at Fanatics.com with authentic sports memorabilia and collectibles and one-of-a-kind autographs from Fanatics exclusive athletes. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Welcome back to College Football Live, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Jen, David, and Des here with you. Let's take a look at today's More Driven Player presented by Goodyear. Bryce Young has had himself quite a year at the helm of the Crimson Tide. In just 13 games, he's passed for more than 4,300 yards, 43 touchdowns, and a 68% completion percentage. He was also a big winner at last night's Home Depot College Football Awards, doubling up on the Maxwell and the Davey O'Brien Awards, while Georgia's Jordan Davis swept the Outland and Bednarik Awards. Luke Fickell wins the Home Depot Coach of the Year award after leading the first ever Group of 5 program to the college football playoffs. Let's take a look at the Heisman update brought to you by Nissan. After Devontae Smith became the first wide receiver to win the Heisman since 1991 last year, quarterbacks could bring the award back this season. The last time QBs missed out on the award in consecutive years, 97 to 99, when Charles Woodson, Ricky Williams, and Ron Dane won the award. So, guys, the new format is that 4 guys go to New York now for the Heisman. I don't have to tell Des any of this. He knows all of this stuff. But for y'all out there listening, you might be wondering why there are 4 guys going. It's mandated going forward. Did they get it right?
Yeah. I wouldn't have argued if Will Anderson was there. I thought he had a great season. I thought he dominated almost every game. And statistically, it's pretty stupid. Leading the nation in sacks, doing what he did, tackles for a loss was absolutely silly. So I think Will Anderson proved he was one of the best players in college football, whatever order you want to rank that in. Yeah. Listen, Des, we've also known for a long time, too, that this isn't a defensive award typically.
Absolutely.
We are usually not invited to the table, okay? They invite the pretty boys and the stars. They don't invite the dirty defensive linemen that put their hands in the dirt.
That's right.
Or the defensive players most of the time.
Right. No, I agree with you. I thought that Will Anderson should have been there. If they're going to be 4, I mean, and I'm not saying that he should have been there instead of Hutchinson. He should have been there next to Hutchinson.
Yeah.
You got 3 quarterbacks, 1 defensive player. Another guy is Kenneth Walker III. I think Kenneth Walker III should have been a finalist for the Heisman. But who are you going to take off the list? Like, if there are 4 slots and you're going to put Kenneth Walker III up there, who are you going to take off? And that's when you get into the debate, the discussion. I do think that Kenneth Walker III had a fantastic season. He should have been one of the 4 finalists. Really surprised when that list came out and he wasn't one of the 4 finalists. That surprised me.
He was obviously on my ballot.
Well, take me inside the mind of the voters, guys. Is it sometimes when a team like Alabama has their quarterback in the mix and Bryce Young, then do they say, well, I can't possibly put another Alabama player on the list?
Please ask Des this, because I want to see his head explode. Take me in the mind of the voters, all those people that vote for the Heisman.
Well, Jen, this is what I would say. I start off with there are too many voters. Way, way too many voters. And that's where you start. It should be a breakdown of voters by region. That's where we need to start. Secondly, I think that they don't watch the games. They can't. I mean, because a guy like Will Anderson would be on the list. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. He's one of the best players in college football. Kenneth Walker III, one of the best players in college football. What they do is they look at stats and they look at highlights. And one of these guys have like a bad game or they fall off, then they don't include them in their ballots. So too many voters not really watching the games.
Well, and if we talk about this tomorrow, it'd be the same thing I'd say on game day. When you have 2 guys from the same region, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, it's a regional voting award. Like a lot of times, and there's a reason for that. That's why we have regions that get to vote, because they watch their region a little bit more sternly than other people do, and you vote for the best player you thought in college football. So when Bryce Young and Will Anderson are both candidates, both aren't going to the dance. That's not the way it's going to work. So Bryce Young gets the majority of the votes, and Will Anderson gets left at home or sitting at home with me watching you guys.
I don't typically feel this way. I am not an everybody gets a trophy type of thing, but I do feel like they could open it up a little more. Going to New York, all the pomp and circumstance.
It'd be a very flamboyant trophy, though, with your outfit today.
Exactly.
Bryce Young is looking to become the first Alabama quarterback, guys, to win the Heisman. In fact, the Tide have had 3 Heisman winners, and they have all been other players, Devontae Smith, Derrick Henry, and Mark Ingram. It's crazy with all the success that Alabama has had that the quarterback has not been featured for that award.
Well, only recently have they had good quarterbacks. That's why this run has been so good, because they finally got QBs.
It's a great point by our friend David Pollack. Is this his award to lose, Des?
It appears that way, but we've seen upsets before. The year before I won in 1991. The year before, my head coach, Gary Moeller, sat me down and said, listen, you're the best player in college football, hands down. It's not even close. He said, but when you go up there, anything can happen, because the previous year, everyone thought that Raghib Ismail from Notre Dame was going to win it. And then here comes Ty Detmer, the quarterback at BYU, and he upset Raghib. So you never know, but it seems like it is, but you never know. That's why we have the votes, and that's why we go up there and see it.
And the year before I won. Oh, wait, I didn't win it.
Wait.
But you won other awards. Don't discredit yourself.
Congratulations to the newest member of the College Football Hall of Fame. Welcome to the club, brother.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Sir.
But yes, Bryce Young is a foregone conclusion, I think, for what he did to Georgia. in the SEC championship game, I think it's pretty much over.
He says he appreciates it, but his face is getting about as red as that Georgia uniform that he
as
wore.
Pink as her down fur.
Foxy brown coat that I have going on. That's right, exactly. I felt a little like Penny Lane from Almost Famous. All right, guys, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ESPN and on the app, we will indeed have the 87th annual Heisman Trophy ceremony. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Kenny Pickett, and Aiden Hutchinson are the 4 finalists this year. 2011 Heisman winner Robert Griffin III will announce the winner. So a very big night in the city on Saturday. Earlier in the show, we showed off the Navy uniforms for this weekend's Army-Navy game in honor of the 20th anniversary of the September 11th terror attacks. Army has chosen to honor Army members of Task Force Dagger. The front of the jersey has the Latin phrase De oppresso liber, which translates to from being an oppressed man to being a free one.
This Heisman Update is brought to you by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Welcome to Allstate, where savings from our new lower auto rates follow you everywhere. Now, get new lower auto rates. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their gifts. This Christmas, wrap it in red at Ace and get free assembly and delivery on grills.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I was going through the hardest thing I've ever been through, my mom gave me this ring, and it made me feel powerful, protected. When my sister was going through something really difficult, I knew that I had to give it to her.
It signifies that I'm never alone.
Yeah.
We pass on this ring because we know we're always there for each other.
I love this ring so much. It's our sisterhood.
Celebrate your extraordinary love story. Save 20%. Jared, love brilliantly.
Pass the pants. Share the shirts. Hand out the hats. Fork over the flannels. Deliver the denim. And bestow the briefs. Gift the whole gang. And load up on all of the merry you can carry. Only at Duluth Trading.
On the season finale of Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Another season almost in the books.
Yep, it's going to be a long off season.
Off season?
What do we do in the off season?
Off season?
Relax. We don't stop existing when the season ends.
Yeah, it's not like we live in some fictional town that's part of some elaborate marketing campaign.
What would it even be for? Dr. Pepper?
We're real people. It's not like we're the ice cold Dr. Pepper guy.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
The Total Support Pouch from Hanes can help you achieve balance. Vista mesh panels for perfect separation and support. Secure. Separated. Supported. Find your balance. Vista Total Support Pouch from Hanes. So secure. I often forget I'm wearing underwear. I still am.
USAA is made for the safe pilots, like Matt, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for. Get a quote today.
a great team, you gotta build it, piece by piece. Start with a few natural-born leaders, old vets who've seen it all, and a few youngsters just getting started, those with chips on their shoulders and ice in their veins. You find a cast of characters like that, you've got yourself one hell of a team.
College Football Live is presented by Buffalo Wild Wings and in part by Taco Bell.
Five years ago to the day, Army defeated Navy 21-17, ending a 14-year drought against the midshipmen. The Black Knights needed a late touchdown after blowing an early 14-point lead, but were able to come out on top. The 122nd meeting between these two teams happens right inside that building tomorrow. Our Gene Wojciechowski got a chance to sit down with Navy head coach Ken Niumatalolo. Here's an excerpt of the piece you'll see tomorrow morning on College Game Day.
Hey guys, let's go ahead and get started. We got our biggest game coming up. You guys that have played in this game know what it's like. You know, maybe like, oh, maybe it's like Notre Dame. Maybe the pressure's like that. This game is unlike any other game. And the thing that I feel like that I've seen during this game, sometimes guys try to do so much. Sometimes guys lose their mind. What I do in a certain play, and so before every snap, just take a breath. Let's get ready to get after them with perfect preparation and get ready to go right now.
Burn them on three. 1, 2, 3. Burn!
So like this is the world's greatest view.
It depends. I mean, you know, when you win, you're always grateful, and if you lose, your perspective changes. You look at the windows like, stupid birds, they pooped on my window. Or
Jeff Monken and Ken Niumatalolo, two of the most respected coaches in the game because they have been at the helm of these storied programs for quite a while. And yet when the coaching carousel spins, which it always does this time of year, you're not really hearing their names in the conversation. Des, why is that?
I think when you're a head coach at one of the service academies, your mission is different. I mean, you just have a different perspective on things. They're not out necessarily chasing the bags. So when if they're going to go to a different, university, a different place to coach, it's going to have to be the right place for the right reasons. But you look at them, you look at what they're about, you look at their programs and who they are. They're not the perfect fit for a lot of these openings that come up. So when you take into consideration, David, their personalities, their mission, and what they're all about, then you understand why they're not chasing the bags and going after these job openings.
That's well said. And this is a different style of football. You know, they're used to working with different kind of kids, and they run different systems than everywhere else in the country. You don't see a lot of what this game is nonstop, triple option football, like responsibility football. Like that's what they do, and you don't see a lot of this across the country. I think some schools would be smart to do that and find an edge like that because it's miserable to prepare for year-round. So.
It worked for the Patriots the other day, didn't it?
It wasn't option football, but they ran it every single time.
Hey, sure, he threw the ball twice.
Hey, how about the Belichick mask? The Navy mask.
That was savage. Foreshadowing, though, right?
A little, 3 passes.
Let them know ahead of time. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to talk about the schedule that some of these cadets and these football players have to follow. They're up at 6 a.m., and they're going straight through until midnight. It's just another example of the added level of dedication that these young men have towards what they do. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but we have such a high level of respect for what they do
100%.
And what their future entails, right, Des?
100%. And to go through like their schedule, it's going to just blow your mind. And the commitment, the dedication, the sacrifice, what these young men go through is going to be amazing. But it gives you a newfound appreciation for who they are, what they do, and what they represent.
They're different.
100%.
They're just 99.9% of people ain't walking through a day in their life.
No, sir.
You ain't gonna make it. You will be broken. They are totally different. On top, you say their schedule, that's on top of football, which football's miserable as it is enough sometimes, and you beat the crap out of your body. That don't mean their responsibilities stop. Their responsibilities don't stop at all. They just added to their plate playing football, so it's crazy.
And when you talk to guys who then go on to serve in the military, they talk about the things they learned here at the academies and how football played a huge role in the lessons that they then will use when they get into, whether it's the Marines or the Army or the Navy or the Air Force. I mean, it's just incredible to chat with these guys, and we will certainly highlight that. Don't want to make it seem like Ken Niumatalolo and Jeff Monken haven't been in the mix for certain jobs. Niumatalolo's name was thrown out there, I think, for BYU a few years ago. Monken was mentioned.
Monken a couple years ago was thrown everywhere.
Illinois, Vanderbilt, Kansas, just to name a few. So obviously these are guys who some programs are looking at, but just not all the way across the board. All right, huge game tomorrow between Army, Navy. We will be here all morning long from 9 until noon per usual, holding it down out here. Didn't get a lot of fans out there, but we did get a couple guys.
And we got a Black Hawk behind us. I'm just saying.
Honestly,
you know what I mean?
We've got, this has got to be the
China
coolest
jacket from the MAC, and we got the Black Hawk behind us. I mean, we're doing good.
And you're going to be taking that to the Heisman ceremony this weekend,
That's
right?
the plan. I'm going to rope down two in my suit like a black James Bond.
Yeah, baby.
Like Tom Cruise in one of those Mission Impossible movies. We are very excited for the show to be out here tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us here on College Football Live. For Desmond Howard and David Pollack, I'm Jen Latta. Hang with us tomorrow morning for College Game Day, where it will be quite a scene out here outside of MetLife Stadium. And, of course, then enjoy your holiday.